नया आगाज, नया अंदाज, नया अवतार, नए तेवर, नए कलेवर में एनडीटीवी प्रॉफिट। कारोबार की हर खबर अब एनडीटीवी प्रॉफिट पर। कैसे कमाए पैसा, कहां करें निवेश, जानिए एनडीटीवी प्रॉफिट पर।
I mean, public, private, smaller ones. Are you worried at all with this sort of clampdown on smaller loans and unsecured loans?
So, Tamanna, what is happening is that RBI understands that, look, for the economy to grow, there are businesses, SMEs and all at the bottom of the pyramid who do not have access to secured credit. So they need unsecured credit, high cost, but in a structured manner. And at the same time, they don't want people who just fintechs to lend to them and then get into an collection cycle. So it's a very tough battle that RBI is fighting. So I think our bets there are at the bottom of the pyramid, companies that are very well run, very high net income margin companies, like, again, not by recommendations, companies like Spandana Spurti in the MFI space. Then there are small private banks that have gone through leadership change, like a CSB Bank, South Indian Bank before that. So we like that basket, the people who are lending to that segment, even if it's unsecured lending, it's very well thought through credit decisions, good collection cycle and high margins. And then you have the large banks that, as CK said, haven't done anything. HDFC, Axis, Kotak, ICICI. ICICI has, but other three have not. So I think there is great value emerging there now because they are going to be growth stocks. So literally the way we are looking at it now is that you're getting growth stocks at valuation because earnings have gone up by 60-70% over the last 3 years without any stock return. So I think we are looking at them at probably coming in at lower end of the historical valuation range. So that's the play that we have in financial services right now.
Okay. 9:08, the pre-open rates have settled about 4 minutes away from the market open. So keep an eye out for that. But just want to mark what's happening to certain stocks. Orchid Pharma, I think there is a brokerage note initiation that has happened. If I'm not wrong, it's DAM Capital or Investec, which is initiated with a buy and a target price of 800. That stock is up about 19% in the session today. Watch out for that. And watch out for Five Star Finance, Zomato, a couple of stocks on which there are block deals that are slated to happen. Be interesting to see if those stocks are starting off with a bit of maybe minor losses, if you will. So those are a few names that I'll certainly keep an eye out for. IIFL Securities, just want to mark that one as well at the end of the pre-open session. The rates, IIFL Sec about 7% because SAT has set aside SEBI's ruling of no onboarding of clients for 2-year period. I think it happened some time ago, but it's been set aside, and I think that should be a shot in the arm for this one as well. Abhay, very quickly, what have you bought into recently? You've deployed some bit of cash. Yes. Where have you found comfort? So
we are one segment that we believe is ripe for re-evaluation and coming into investors' radar is the whole agrochemical space, both for exports and Indian consumption. So that is where we see bottom of cycle valuations. Again, no buy recommendation companies like UPL, Bayer, Dhanuka. So that's the segment that we are getting more excited about because China dumping is reducing. We have seen the data every month. Pricing power is coming back. So that's one space that we are very happy to get involved in with a 2-3 year re-rating prospect.
Okay, that's interesting. Dr. Narayan, again, an interesting bucket has been under pain for a while. Chemicals, global agrochemicals, all of them. Are charts showing any kind of bottoming out? We are about a couple of minutes away from market open, but are charts showing any kind of bottoming out there?
It's been very selective, I would say, not an across the board kind of thing in the sector. Now, Abhay mentioned something like, let's say UPL. Now, UPL from the market's perspective, market participants' perspective, seems to be still struggling to get into a, up move. So typically, sector-wide moves happens when leaders start off and fare well, maybe have a little bit of run-off moves, and then the rest of the people follow. Now, that has not really happened yet in the entire chemical space. In the chemical space, there are small pockets where, some specific individual chemical made by that company, that price is shot up or something. So other than that, you're still seeing them, kind of struggle. And that struggle is not easy to come out of because all of them have lost upwards of 40% or 50% of their peak value. So When you have such a deep drawdown, what tends to happen is to have a quick rally as people find value and get in, but then it gets into a big consolidation as the market waits for more news to come.
Okay, so